What is the difference to a dream? Is there a difference or is it just an illusion?
Everything's this whole world is a projection of your mind. There is no body. No one has a body. There is no physical world. That was all part of the scam. It's like playing on invincibility mode.
Well, I'm lucky you found back home. You didn't went very far.
Oh, I know. It's always so perfect, just doing itself without a doer. It's amazing.
That is something I must confess. I made the same experience.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised that anyone is like responding to my petitions to talk to them online, you know.
Oh.
It's just so
Good thing
great.
you're not even doing it.
No, most probably not. No, no.
Yeah.
I believe that there's actually nothing we do on our own.
Yeah.
Everything is happening through us, no, not by
It's
us.
beautiful.
It's a little bit disappointing for many people. They think they are artists or
Yeah.
this
No
and that.
credit. Yeah, no credit or creditor, yeah, it's so beautiful.
Normally, I normally I start these conversations. I ask the people to present themselves. Uh, in this case, it's getting a little bit tricky because who are you gonna present, you know?
I know. Yeah, it's all a dream. You're dreaming this. It's so beautiful. You're
Yeah,
God
that
dreaming
that
yourself
is
this.
one of the questions that actually came up. I mean, yeah, I will ask it a little bit later, but because maybe I could insist, there must have been a time when you were like 99% of humanity. You had like a name, you were a kid, you were the child of someone, you did stuff, you learned, you had a life.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, yeah. Which makes total sense because the singularity as pure, infinite, formless, immutable consciousness, unmanifest, where, we can't experience ourselves because we're not an object, we're not form, there's no form to experience, so we dream ourselves as pure consciousness, we dream ourselves as these finite, limited concepts to, mentally project, imagine, and then as a reference point to realize ourself as the infinite that's dreaming, but to also get to experience ourself as the universe. So we would have to dream ourself as an illusory subject object, simultaneously being the object, simultaneously being the subject, to experience ourselves as the universe, to which is like the sacrifice of manifesting ourselves, as is to first, you know, get lost in our dream and then wake up from it, which is absolutely beautiful. That's why I call it a love story. And all along you're the one dreaming, you're the one pure immutable awareness that's hearing this voice, that's dreaming itself as this voice. And, you know, um, so yeah, so the dream story, being the one dreaming and then dreaming Jenny. Um, my dad was an existentialist who was reading Being and Nothingness to me when I was like 7 years old. And then my mom was a healer who I watched miraculous healings, like ridiculous healings, like a brain tumor disappearing and had never existed, just like magical stuff. So even, in the beginning of the dream story, there was all of these openings and curiosity and being skeptical and being kind of diving deep, and looking at things and seeing how malleable and changeable it is. And then, of course, there was the being the one dreaming, but then identifying as the dream character, as the subject object. So then I was, still looking for myself as the one dreaming, in, materials and objects and concepts and thoughts, and then finding it so unreliable. It's like the people, the things, the sensations, they appear and disappear. And then it was that, which is part of this beautiful dream of waking up. It's like, then we start to really inquire into ourselves, like, what is permanent? What is always here with me? What am I? Who am I? And so there was all these questions, and there was all these openings, and then things were starting to click, and there was in 2017 there was a I think it kind of like was appearing as a nightmare, which is, part of like a nightmare at night when you're refusing to accept this is real. And I was starting to see this like Maya up close. I was like, there is no way in hell this is real. This would be doomed. There's got to be something underlying this, something, that's infinite, that's, and then it was just like starting to open up, to those, that questioning. And then my best friends, so there wasn't hardcore, I didn't know about non-duality yet. I didn't wasn't seeking enlightenment. I was just like open and getting into metaphysical stuff and healing. I had a healing practice. And then my best friend one day, who I'm dreaming, I'm dreaming myself as my best friend, talking to myself, reminding myself. And she said, nothing exists outside of your mind. This whole world is a projection of your mind. And there was chills up the spine. Something heard that, and something resonated. And then it was like a week later, I read Alan Watts' book, The Book, and I read the page about you are God, dreaming yourself, playing hide and seek with yourself in a dream. And then once again, chill bumps, like the like, whoa, something hurt, something understood that. And then it was like a week later or something. I was in the car running errands with my best friend in her mom van. We had the kids in the back. And I was like just super relaxed, non-resistant. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't, trying to meditate or anything. And I just spontaneously relaxed into as being, just pure being. And, um, being aware of being aware. And then just all of a sudden, consciousness saw itself, the one dreaming the characters, the one dreaming the world saw itself, which wasn't the character Jenny. It was that glimpse and that awakening of no mind, just pure, infinite, beyond words, overwhelming love, beingness. We can use words and, put qualities to it. It's, we are pure awareness that's immutable, infinite, unqualified. But then, to conceptualize ourself, we give it qualities, and it's, so I could say vast and infinite and just overwhelmingly in love and invincible and formless. And so, it was just, I'll say that it's ordinary, it's familiar, it's what we already are. This felt sense of being, this presence, this I am, this even myself, the feeling myself, the I, that's what we are, unmanifest. And then, dreaming ourselves as this world and these characters to experience our infinite capacity, our infinite self as the universe. The I, the pure, unmanifest awareness that we are, that's invincible and formless and eternal. we identify as the character and then we wrap up I as I am this body, I am this character. And then so then we appear to limit our infinite self as the subject object. And then there's this, separate world that can harm me. And there's an outside cause and an outside God. And there's, and I'm a form. So then I can be destroyed and I'm doomed. And so then there's, thinking and perceiving that way and acting that way. But then when there's waking up from the dream and realizing you are the pure immaculate consciousness, you're not the finite form. In fact, there are no finite forms. All there is the pure immaculate consciousness, dreamingness. So there is no physical world or universe. It's kind of like, I love the analogy of the VR headset and being God, that's infinite and formless, wearing the VR headset. And, when you're wearing a headset, you're not the avatar in the headset, but then you identify as the avatar. And then you're beautifully and playfully, seeking yourself in the VR as the avatar. You're seeking yourself as the one already wearing the headset, that's the one aware of the seeking, which is what's being, you know, which is what's sought, it's you are already that. But then the futility of looking for yourself in the dream or the VR headset, and then realizing, oh my God, I'm the one wearing the headset. I'm not the avatar in the headset. I'm that which, remains even when the avatar dies, and the pure consciousness giving rise to it, imagining it, the source of it. So then it's like abiding as the one wearing the headset. It's like playing on invincibility mode, or it's like fearlessly. There is no form, there is no world, there is no body that can die. There's no one that can get hurt. There's all there is the one wearing the headset. That's the infinite mind that's formless and eternal and invincible. So then it's amazing how the perspective shifts of yourself. It's like you're so then that changes the thoughts and the perception and the actions, because you're not the character in the headset. You're the one wearing it. You're the one, the source, the infinite awareness from which this beautiful dream would not appear to exist without you being aware of it. So yeah, there was a huge shift, and there was an obviousness that it's always been this. And then I was like, well, what was obscuring it? It's like it's this same felt sense of being, this presence, this I am, this I, this myself, but it's like that is the entire universe. It's the totality, not the finite object that you're aware of. You're the awareness of the finite object that you're giving rise to, that you're manifesting yourself as, or dreaming yourself as, to experience and to make love to yourself. You dream this to make love to yourself as everything. And so even the tantric quality of this is, there is no separation. I am feeling myself as every thought, every sensation, every appearance, every perception, every feeling. It's no separation. So yeah. And the story got dramatic, had a dramatic part where I thought I was like feeling, it seemed to be a dramatic shift here. And there was like 4 months of ecstasy, of just, and I couldn't have a fear, and I couldn't, just absolutely no separation at all. There never has been. And very obvious, I didn't have a body. I wasn't inside the body, nor did I need a body. That all of this is just for fun. It was. And
So
so
much fun, my God.
yeah. Yeah. And how beautiful the whole dream was. The whole dream that didn't happen.
For me, it seems like a huge gift in a way. How can the subject in a world full of objects eventually discover itself? It seems to me impossible. And for many people, it is because maybe they even understand what you're talking about, but it still didn't happen to them.
Yeah, there's only the one dreaming, so there's not even a world. So, like, what's so trippy is like, imagine your dream last night. Think about your dream last night. And imagine going back to your dream last night and waking up dream characters in the dream. You know, it's like you, all there is the one dreaming that's not, so there is no one suffering, there is no one seeking. It's very bizarre. It's so,
Yeah, we easily accept this when you're talking about dreams. But that was actually the question I wanted to ask you, especially because you might have some insight about it. So now we are sitting here and talking into a camera, and pixels are shifting from one side of the planet to the other, and we are awake. We wake up, we have our day, I don't know, I eat, I walk, I do stuff, and I think I am awake, but what is the difference to a dream? Is there a difference, or is it just an illusion?
yeah, it's the same. It's the exact replica. So that it's one of the biggest clues, which I absolutely love to talk about. So the dream at night, you fall asleep and you forget yourself as the infinite mind. And then you appear to localize yourself. Say that you're dreaming being on a beach in the Caribbean with friends. And so in the dream, you're appearing to localize yourself in your own dream, in your own mind. So you're imagining yourself in this scene on the beach. And, in when it's appearing real, when there's that, apparent subject object split of your own self, just being all. So, like, you're dreaming it, you're the one mind that's appearing as the beach, as all the characters, as the character, in the dream with all the friends. You're dreaming yourself as all of it. But in the dream, it feels real. And so then you can perceive yourself as this subject object perspective and experience yourself as a world and experience yourself as form, as manifest. And then you wake up from the dream and you realize, oh my God, that didn't even happen. That was just a dream. And all of it was me. It was all my mind. It was all a projection of my consciousness. So I was the beach. I was the friends. I was the character. And I wasn't in the dream.
I remember, I sometimes I
Yeah.
got angry, people waking me up out of my dream. And I was just so close, to finding, to getting somewhere, waiting for something to happen. And it was so real. But then
Yeah.
when in daytime, then we look at it and we say, no, no, no. I'm awake now. I know I was lying in this bed.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah. And you
dream
weren't
is
even,
not true.
yeah. So you realize in that moment that I'm not in the body because I wasn't on the body I wasn't in the body on the beach and I wasn't the characters on the beach and I wasn't, even though it was all a projection in my mind. I'm not separate from it. It's appearing in my consciousness. But then you take it one step up. And so this is a dream too, where you, as the infinite consciousness that's outside of the dream, that's not inside the body, that's dimensionless, formless, infinite, bodiless, characterless, unqualified, timeless, is, dreaming. You're dreaming this right now as that. And so that which is hearing this voice, that's aware of this voice, that's knowing this experience, is the infinite consciousness that's dreaming this. So then playfully and beautifully, when you're dreaming this and you're lost in the daytime dream, when you're pure infinite awareness consciousness, identifying as the form, I am the body. Then, just like the dream at night, you think that it's real and you think there's a separate world, and your mind is inside the body, and you're the mind, you're the separate mind, and then there's matter, because there's objects outside of you, which is the dream, the illusion. But that's a reference point, because since you're limitless and you're infinite, you're formless, unmanifest, you would dream, limitation, what you're not, to realize what you are. So you realize, you can recognize yourself as the limitless by dreaming form, limitation, manifestation. And that's the sacrifice and the gift of it, because it's like, first you fall for your own scam to wake up from it, and then it's fun, and then it's like you're the one dreaming, and it's all you, and there's no separation, and it's beautiful, and and you never die, and you were never born. You don't have a body. There is no body. No one has a body. There is no physical world. That was all part of the scam. And it's so funny how it goes unquestioned. And even the concept of the science, the study of materialism, is completely not even logical. Like, it's retarded. When you really look into it, it's like, what the hell? No. All I know is my experience as awareness. Nothing existed before I was aware of this, and I'm eternal.
I seem to have like a VR system with a 400K resolution on each eye. I can use my senses, and I have all this appearances around me, and they seem so true. This is so much more true than my dreams. Yeah, for me. I mean, some people, they have very vivid dreams, and mine, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't remember. But I'm curious a little bit, because you still seem to be drawn to speak out, and to even talk to other people, and even offering a hand, a helping hand,
Hmm.
like
I know,
help.
it's so beautiful. It's just doing itself. It's choicelessly in love. It's just, it's like,
It's just happening.
it's just
Yes,
happening.
I
Yeah.
agree. But then still, I wonder, there must be a difficulty, because then you meet people like me, or normal people, and they're so in love with their dream, and they insist they do not want to be awakened from it. And but they're still searching, they still want to get rid of it, but no.
Yeah, this is the
How do you deal with these people? Those maybe they come at you at a certain point. They have like real problems, like fear and desires and whatever. Then they come
Well,
to you, because they say, "I'm not getting any further. I want more. This is not enough."
yeah, this is the trippy part, is once you no longer need to convince yourself, there's no one else to convince.
So it's not a problem for you then.
Yeah, there's no one seeking, yeah, all there is pure awareness, self-aware, just making love. That's it. Just pure empty potential, just pure experiential field, or a field of experiencing, just immediacy, infinite.
There must be some hard nuts, There must be some people, they really insist, no, I want to talk to you, and you have to help me, and you have to get me out of this, which you probably can't do, because they are still maybe attached to the idea that they, as a person, can realize something, and it's a little bit a tricky thing, I guess.
It's there's I've had a lot of people come ripe and ready, like a peach that's falling off of the tree, where it's just like, um, and there's like you said, it's not the character in the dream that wakes up. So it's like it's the one dreaming that sees itself. It's consciousness seeing itself as the one dreaming. Or like in the VR headset, it's not the avatar that realizes it's the one wearing the headset. It's the one wearing the headset, you know? So, and all there is the one wearing the headset. So just like Sri Ramana said, all I see is the seer. All there is the one wearing the headset. So there's no one suffering. No one's ever kind of like in the dream last night when there was a war or something happening in the dream last night and you wake up and realize, oh wow, that was just a dream. It didn't even happen. There never was a world seeking. There never was anyone that needed help. There's just the one dreaming, the one
People
awareness.
dream very, very hard, and they come. I talk to people, and then they get really upset because they say, "Come on, don't talk about nothing. There's people suffering. Their suffering is real. They don't have this. They don't have that. They have pain. They suffer, and you are talking about nothing." It's a tough situation, I don't know where to defend myself, and I don't need to, but there's a certain perspective needed to see through that, and even like it's tough, I think, for many people to accept what is. There's
It's amazing how too easy it is. It's simply resting in yourself as just being. It's just being, just relaxing. That's it. That's all there is.
People
It's
are
true.
not relaxed.
And this is so playful too, because as the one dreaming, if there's a belief in of that thought, then there's projecting that or dreaming that. So then you project people seeking or people suffering or people needing stuff, playfully and beautifully, which is just an illusion. It's not really happening. But so when there's this changes the projection, this change completely changes the dream. Just like I was saying with the VR headset, when you realize you're the one wearing the headset and none of this shit's real. Like looking through VR, it's just a virtual reality. There's nothing in it. There's just the one awareness giving rise to it, illuminating it, pervading it, and
So I think then there is like a responsibility for people those are listening to us right now to be aware of their thinking, their feeling, because that's what they project into the world, right? Can we say that, or it doesn't matter?
well, I would say that eh, that I was definitely vigilant with when there was a limited thought that would come up. So when there's a dividing thought that's being identified with, there's resistance to it, and there's this intuitive alarm system that alerts that there's an error, and that is the feeling of discomfort. It's like there can be a feeling of dread or fear, however you describe it, which is just the intuition screaming, wake up. This isn't separate. It's not happening. It's like kind of shaking you out of the nightmare. So when I when I caught on to that, I could see when those thoughts would arise, I would close my eyes and be aware of the sensation of the feeling without thought, and I would watch it dissolve within me, because nothing can hold up to the power of awareness, because you are the source of the thought, you're the source of the mind. So when you're aware of it without thought, you're integrating it and transmuting it within yourself. There's no separation, there's no subject object. So then it dissolves. Like you can even experiment with it and try to hold on to it. If there's a sensation that's being resisted, or a thought or a feeling or something arising that's uncomfortable, or even depression or suffering, when you're aware of it without thought, it dissolves. It's one. You are it. You're not separate from it. you're being it, so it's even with pain, if you're like fully aware of it, being it fully, just feeling it fully, you can't feel it anymore. It dissolves within you. You are literally everything. You are the one awareness modulating yourself as whatever you're perceiving, touching, tasting, feeling, thinking, appearing to yourself to experience yourself. And so there is no separation. Um, so when I was vigilant with that resistance that would come up, and then I would be aware of it. At first I would say, what is aware of this? And then I dropped, those words. And then I was just, it didn't matter if I was checking out at the grocery store or wherever. If a limited thought came up that was resisted, I would close my eyes and be aware of the feeling without thought and watch it dissolve. And then it wouldn't come up again because it came home. It all comes home. It's like a homecoming. So that, that's like the tantric unicity of it. Like it's just bringing everything home. So yeah, I was definitely vigilant of the mind. I was watching the mind. I was, um,
Thank you. Thank you so much of giving us something to practice.
well,
For
yeah.
me, like the human creatures, they're so adorable. I love to observe and learn, and I still believe, I entertain this belief, like humans are valuable little creatures, and we should keep them alive. And now we have like the new guy on the block. We have artificial intelligence taking over, and like people, they're looking for answers in the artificial intelligence. And because they recognize, this artificial thing is so much more intelligent than me. I ask it whatever and it comes up with stuff and I don't know.
No, you're the source of it. How could it be more intelligent than you? You created it with your mind.
It
You're
seems. It
you're the
seems
infinite
to be
mind.
more intelligent.
Well, just like so you're the infinite mind giving rise to it. So kind of like the VR headset. You're the awareness, existence itself, the sentience, the omnipotence, giving rise to the illusion, imagining it. You're the source of it. You're the infinite mind, the infinite consciousness. So all of this that's appearing is a dead icon in consciousness, in your consciousness. It has no power. It has no power. And you're dreaming it. You're dreaming all of this. So, and you're not even in the dream. So none of it can affect you. You're the only cause, so nothing can affect you. You're untouched.
I just wonder of myself, because I'm in contact with young people, and of course, they see it like a nice chance that it can do their homework. It can help them avoiding to dig deeper into certain questions or to think for themselves.
Mhm.
And of course, I don't know how to pick them up because it's such a
Yeah.
temptation, to just ask this machine and the machine does the work. It looks like it does the work. It doesn't. And they mainly they insist, no, I have mental problems. I'm not worthy. No one loves me, and I don't know what to do. And typical things, young
Yeah.
people.
Well, and consciousness cannot be computed. It's non-computational. It's the source of computing. And you're prior to it. You're prior to the mind. You're the unmanifest. So that there's nothing scary out there. There's no boogeyman. Everything's your imagination and it can't harm you. You're the one imagining it. You can't, you're eternal, invulnerable. You can't be harmed and everything is you. It's all your imagination. So it's not scary once you see that. You're not scared of thoughts or there's no resistance. There's all you see is yourself as God. And so it's one totality. This is all your infinite mind, you playing with yourself, so um, everything is God and everything is benevolent and harmless. And there's nothing to be scared of. There's being scared is just waking yourself up from the dream, because it's inevitable when you project a nightmare that you will wake up. So that's why the suffering and all of the hardcore coming up against limitation is what wakes you up, because you're the limitless, infinite consciousness dreaming this. You never forgot yourself. So that's why limitations piss you off. And that's why you dream them, to wake you up from the dream. And sometimes you'll dream a nightmare or trickster characters or torture or something that really shakes you out of the dream. So I see it all as just so divine. I mean, it's just all, it's not even happening. It's just like a dream at night. It didn't happen. It's not really happening. You're timeless, infinite, dimensionless. You're not even coming in contact with objects or experiencing anything. And when you really distill what's really happening, when you really abide as the knowing, as the pure experiencing, all there is yourself as infinite consciousness. All there is pure awareness. There are no objects. There is no physical world. All there is just pure making love to yourself, just pure sensory experiencing of your infinite, formless, immutable energy. So you know, there's no world that's doomed. There's no one that dies. There's no computer that can take over. There's all there is the one immutable consciousness, never doomed, can't die, can't be harmed. And that's all there is.
What I'm going to tell my believers, my buddies from the religious department, like the Muslim, the Christian, there's like 4,000 religions over there, and people are investing a lot of energy and beliefs and stuff in that. And what's your, what's your point of view about all these efforts trying to get somewhere? And a lot of them, even they insist there's only one God, there's only one. There
Mm-hmm.
are the mystics, they point to it, but there's a lot of activity going on there. Are you devotional?
What do you mean?
Do you, for example, if you have the opportunity, someone invites you, come over here, we have like a Christian session, or we have a Muslim session, or we sing kirtans together, we're singing the name of God, which
Mm-hmm.
I find for me, it's a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, what's your point of view to these activities?
Well, the first part of what you were talking about with the people to convince your friends that have different religions, that would just be you trying to convince yourself, because once you're, wake up from the dream, there's no one else to wake up from the dream. Everything is you. So there's no one to convince, there's no one to change. So then the dream changes. There's no world to wake up or change or anyone suffering or about the devotion thing, everything is yourself as the infinite, this feeling of myself, this felt sense, I am this pure beingness, this presence, this aliveness that has no dimension, form, or limitation, that doesn't have an end or a beginning, from which all of these beautiful appearances, thoughts, perceptions, sensations appear and disappear within you, that you are appearing as, pervading and aware, experiencing yourself as like a self-aware movie screen that's aware of the beautiful movie that it's projecting onto itself. It's just like you're making love to everything. There's no separation, there's no subject object, there's just pure worshiping yourself. So the devotion is just making love to yourself. There is no outside God, there's no outside cause. You are God. You are the one you're devoted to, that you're worshiping, that you're on your knees bowing down to, that you're prostrating, that you are every word, you're every sound, you're every sensation, you're every feeling, you're every song. You're singing to yourself, you're serenading to yourself as sound. So through all of this, all of these senses, which is like the headset, the interface from which you can make love to yourself through, and appear to manifest yourself as all of this. It is a celebration. It's like, so I would say everything is the meditation, everything is the devotion, everything is, even sitting in a chair, doing dishes, talking to a friend. All of this is just yourself as infinite consciousness, making love to yourself through everything. I don't, there's no seeking, there's no separation, there's no subject object, there's no looking for myself as that which is aware of the looking, that which is aware of the sound of this voice. There's no more of that. So but I do love celebrating and basking in this beautiful presence of that we are as one immutable infinite mind making love to itself. So I wouldn't go to those events for anything or to attain anything, because there's nothing to attain. You can't stand apart from yourself to attain anything. You already are. So like the pathless path is simply being. The direct path is getting naked of the object of experience that you're dreaming or projecting yourself as, the distractions of the objective experience, and then turning around and looking at yourself as the one aware of it. That's the direct path. But the pathless path is, there's nothing to do at all. It's just simply being.
Well, a lot of people they like to do stuff and they like
Yeah.
to be negative and they like to be destructive and they have the urge to fight for something. And well, I have to accept that they do. I agree.
Hmm.
Still, I feel like maybe I could help.
Yeah, and that's total perfection too. That's everything you see is the seer. Everything you see is you as the one immutable self. Then it's and it's just intuitively doing itself, dancing with itself. Just like you said, it's obvious that it's just automatically happening. Like these words, where are they coming from? There's no, you don't. It's immaculate, miraculous.
Yeah, we still like to have a couple of conditions in our bag, and it seems to be like an obstacle for people to recognize that the unconditional part is the one that brings you freedom, like the unconditional acceptance of oneself and of inside and outside.
Hmm. Yeah, that's just when you're simply resting as being, just being pure being. It's obvious, and that's without thought. It's just pure, radiant awareness. Just pure experiencing, pure knowing, without thought. It's obvious. There is no world. There is no thing. you're just basking as the unmanifest that you are, no mind. And then you know, extroverted, project yourself as the mind to conceptualize yourself, to explore yourself as the universe and interact with yourself. You get to, and it's form, it's all formless, it's all mental, it's all the one infinite mind that you are, that's from which you're experiencing yourself. Um, yeah, just the more you bask, you know, as this, the more it just dissolves everything. It takes over it's just seen very clearly that that is all there is. The one being that we are is all there is. So there is no one separate that's being harmed, or just like a dream last night. It didn't happen. No one got hurt in the dream. There were no separate individuals. There was no separate characters or bodies. They weren't real physical bodies. There wasn't a physical world. It was all a projection of the mind, the one mind.
Let's talk about these other friends I have. They like they insist, okay, yeah, I'm there's okay, there's a higher self, there's the divine, and but I'm channeling the divine. I have connections, I have some people up there over here, some or inside some, and I'm channeling them, and it's something that got quite famous on the internet. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
couple of people out there, they entertain this idea that they channel some spirits, some extraterrestrials, some yeah, people from different frequencies. So there's the one which includes everything. But
Yeah.
then there are these people, they say, no, 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 I'm channeling this person and the other person, and they want to help you.
Well, yeah, you're just God dreaming that.
I'm not alone. Many people dream.
And you're infinite, so why not explore everything if you're infinite, like
Yes, of course,
infinite
but I mean,
imagination.
I see the value so much in every little human because they are already channeling. Everything is
Because
happening
it's the
through
one, yeah,
them.
it's the one infinite mind, so channeling itself, talking to itself, like communicating with itself. It's infinite concepts, imagine that, and infinite, you know, imagination. So, I mean, I used to channel too. I used to do all of that stuff, and then I would make things appear and disappear, and I would make things manifest instantly, and then I would make things, I would channel different qualities, and then I would project that world. So then I could change the world, because it's all a projection. So once you really abide as this, as the one dreaming, as just pure being without resistance, just pure being, you see that that's all there is you as pure being. And so your the dream changes, like the friends, they'll either act different, or they'll have different they won't be telling you limitations, because you've transcended all of that, so you won't dream that anymore, because you only dreamt all that to wake up from it, to transcend it. So you dream the limitations to recognize yourself as the limitless. And so once you've recognized, there's no one else to wake up, there's no one else to convince or change. And then that's the analogy of heaven on earth, or sattva yuga, where it's like the golden, where heaven, it's like heaven, where that's all you see. So all you see is heaven, because you are that, and that's all there is. But as infinite being, infinite consciousness, you can dream anything that you believe. If you believe there's a scary world and that you're a separate body, then you dream that. And then you wake up from it's inevitable that you wake up from that because there is no separation. There never was. There's just the one dreaming, you know.
There's this one dream that I'm thinking I'm alive and that I will have to die. I made peace with it. I'm okay, but not act. I don't know what
But you're
the
not the
the
body
version
that
of
died.
dying maybe can be not so nice. I don't know about it. I don't care. But yeah, many people they entertain this idea that they were born and that they will die. What happens when we die?
And then you dream that playfully. So you're but you don't have you aren't the one that you're not what dies because you're the one aware of the body. So how could you be the body? You're prior to it. You would have to exist before it. And how can it exist without you being aware of it? You're the one giving rise to it. And the body is not what it appears to be. It's not physical. Like even right now, close your eyes and without thought, just be aware. All there is a bundle of sensations. That's what you call the body. There's no form. There's just pure consciousness appearing as sensations. So there is no body without thought or belief. It's just a thought. Even if you break it down through the sense perception, what is a body? So what is this? This there's feeling. Well, that's perception, that's sense perception, that's awareness. Well, there's it feels squishy and solid. What's that? That's sense of touch, that's sense perception, that's awareness. So this is not what it appears to be. It's all awareness. There is no form, there is no body. So just resting as yourself, as pure consciousness. Where is it?
It's pretty hard to grasp for a lot of people. I had the pleasure to
When
meet
there's not a lot of
someone.
people.
Sorry?
Yeah. There's not a lot of people. There's no.
No, there's not. I had the pleasure to meet someone who had this experience not long ago, and this person actually, which I don't find is not necessary, but this person I think took DMT. I don't know what that is, but it happens like, of course, she had this experience of leaving the body, and then I was talking to her, and she actually, yeah, she mentioned this exactly this. Like she looks at her hand, and he says, "This is not me."
Yeah.
And it's so easy and it's so true, but so hard to grasp for so many people. And they say,
Well,
no,
that's
no,
just a
but if I
thought.
hurt
Yeah.
myself here, I feel the pain, this is me.
Yeah. But what is there without that thought?
No, I told them, and what happened when they cut your arm? Then you're less or what? Not a good idea, but it happens to people. It happens. Yes. Well, yeah, it's a funny world. I love it.
Funny dream.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. Maybe we talked enough for today. Maybe I rather would like to talk to you again another time.
Sure. Yeah. Reach
And
out anytime, friend.
it's
That's
such so
exciting.
lovely. It's really refreshing. It's like taking a nice shower of consciousness.
Yay. And it's so easy. It just already is
So now,
right
please
now. Right now.
tell us, the people on the other side of these pixels, tell them how can they connect with you, if they should, I mean. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Thank
so tell
you.
us a little bit.
Oh, yay. Let's see. I have a YouTube called A Love Story for No One, YouTube station channel. And then you can email me at, let me try to remember my email. I think it's a love story at no one at gmail.com. I'll give you all this information if you want to put it, copy and paste it in the description.
Yes, it will
Yeah.
be down there in the description. You find it there.
Thank you. And then WhatsApp, if you want to message me, text me, call me. My number is
Yeah,
one.
we put it in the description, I
Oh,
think. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need. Okay,
Th-
sure.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else. I'm creating an app right now that's called Spirit Collective. That's a social media marketplace that I'll have a all my writings on. So it'll be under a love story for no one. We haven't launched yet, but that'll happen probably mid-August. And then let me think about it, how else. And then yeah, my website, a lovestoryfornoone.com. And then so yeah, lots of ways to reach out, call, whatever.
Please send me the links and then I'll put it
Well,
there. Even if there's a link coming later, you just send it to me and I'll add it to the
awesome.
description.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
Love your friend.
is
Beautiful.
there anything left to say to these people? Those are still listening to us. It's incredible. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. The best thing I could say is it's pure beingness. Not just, yeah, that's all there is.
Thank you so much, Ginny.
Thank you. Big hugs, friend. Thank you.